Welcome back to Arise Prime Time. I'm Charles Enyegolu. Now let's go behind the headlines and get to the heart of the news with our commentator who will give us his personal take on the issues of the day. And today we have Arise News analyst and former chairman of the editorial board of Daily Trust newspaper, Mahmud Jega. Thank you very much indeed for coming in. And I'm really curious to know your assessment of Ikenga Ugochinyere, the member-elect of the House of Representatives, who's given his support to Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu, both APC members, Ugochinyere, of course, from the PDP, but he believes that they're the best candidates. What's your sense of the calculations that are taking place there?
He's very, very articulate, very passionate, very level-headed and measured fellow. Even though in politics, usually people expect a member-elect like him to toe the party line, but possibly because the PDP itself has not come out very coherently to state what its position is in the race for the leadership positions in the National Assembly, it has allowed party members to take, like in his own case, a very practical position because an effort was made. He is a spokesman of the coalition of United Political Parties. And they met, 7 of them. They have a slight majority, 7 of the opposition parties.
Yeah, they
have a slight majority in the House. But I think he saw, and many people also saw, that the 7 parties were not in a good position to present a united position for 2 clear reasons. Number one, there is the problem of the Rivers PDP led by Nyesom Wike, which is practically an APC branch now. And then more recently, the meeting that the NNPP leader, Rabi Okonkoso, had in France with the president-elect. Yeah. So if you cannot have the NNPP members, about 18 or 19 of them, and then also the PDP members from Rivers State, who are likely to be led by Nyesom Wike more or less into the APC fold, then the opposition is unlikely to bandy together and elect the speaker. So he made a very good case for Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu. He said something that was not well known publicly, that they were some of the highest sponsors of bills in the 9th and 10th, was it in the 8th and 9th assemblies. Now that sounds like a very good qualification apart from their academic
and a good criteria for assessing their potential abilities.
It's true. He made a very good convincing case for them. There may be other members who are just as good, but the way things are going, they seem to be on a roller coaster, those 2 candidates.
So is it your sense, based on your sort of calculations, that Abbas and Kalu are the clear favorites in this race?
Well, I think they are the clear front runners, although there are several other candidates, all of them from APC. Well, there is still some time to go because after the inauguration of the president next week, then it will still be another week before you elect. Now, about 5 or 6 APC members of the House of Representatives insist that they will run for speaker. That's dangerous. I mean, for now, they are comfortable because the opposition does not look united. But you know, things can happen overnight.
Absolutely.
If all 4 or 5 or 6 of them enter the contest, just 1 member of the opposition may also be nominated and he might actually win. So they must get their act together too if their party intends to produce the leaders of the assembly.
We're going to be watching that very closely, but let's turn to the Labour Party. They're holding a summit. They're trying to hold their members together, the lawmakers. They've got 6 in the Senate, 34 in the House of Reps. And there are all these rumors going around that they're trying to hold on to their lawmakers. And because of the divisions, there is talk of the potential of defection.
I agree that the Labour Party has to work very hard really to keep itself together. It was a unique kind of politics that most of the obedient supporters of the Labour Party and most of the rank and file members were really interested in the presidential candidate, but not so much in other elements of the party. You saw that in between the presidential election and the gubernatorial election. A party that won 12 states, including the FCT, in the presidential election was reduced to just one party in the gubernatorial election. Okay, so although it had this large number of members, and then of course there were other things not very pleasant, like the statements by the governor-elect of Abia State that the presidential candidate had nothing to do with his victory, and then the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate in Enugu State who was saying also that the presidential candidate Peter Obi more or less sabotaged him and didn't support him. So things like that really could spell doom for the party unless a Herculean effort is made. And the first danger, as you said, are the elected members, because they may go into the National Assembly, 6 senators, 34 members of the House of Representatives, and they may think that, okay, we are very few, we may not be able to make a very big impact.
We'll be swallowed, by the bigger ones.
And also, you know, some people for personal benefit will say, maybe if I join a big party, I may end up with a GC committee, chairmanship. Since 1999, we have had lots of people defecting, usually to the side of the winning party in the National Assembly. We try to prevent it by saying you cannot defect from your party until there is a division. But you know, politicians can always orchestrate this, like you are saying with Dr. Yunus Atanko, the Apapa man and all that can give a reason for somebody to say there is a faction in the party, therefore I am defecting.
Absolutely, that's a good point. That's a very good point. And I wonder what sort of impact this disputed election, the legal challenges and so on, has had on the relationship between, for instance, Labour and the PDP, who are the main opponents. I mean, I wonder if their common cause, if there is common cause in wanting to overturn the presidential election, which there clearly is, and if that has been pushing them closer together as fellow travelers in this desire to strategically counter the APC's influence.
I think the way, from everything we can see, there is no real common cause between the two of them. Now, immediately after the presidential election, the running mates of presidential running mates of PDP, Governor Okoa, and the running mate of the Labour Party, Senator Baba Ahmed, held a joint press conference which looked promising. But since then, one can see that, okay, both of them are pushing at the same tribunal to be declared the winner. Now, obviously, you can't have more than one.
But is the common cause, though, to annul the election? In other words, is that an area of overlap for the two of them, that they would settle for a rerun of the election?
Well, I don't know whether what they are asking for is a rerun, or each one is pushing to be declared as the winner of the majority votes and to have satisfied the requirements. Now, you can see that in PDP, there is some latent bitterness that, if not because Peter Obi defected with a large chunk of the party, PDP could well have won the presidential election. Not only him, the NNPP too defected from PDP. I mean, I saw you saying in one of the programs, I think yesterday or the day before, that if you combine the votes of the 3 major opposition parties, it is nearly twice the vote of the president-elect. So the PDP people must be unhappy about that.
That's a very good observation.
So that is what makes it difficult for them maybe to have true common cause.
Mahmud, it's always brilliant talking with you. Thank you very much indeed.
Yes.
Mahmud Jega is a Rise News analyst and former chairman of the editorial board of Daily Trust newspaper. That's it for this edition of Arise Prime Time. Join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Bye-bye and thank you for watching.